Okay, hello and welcome to Pop Along RC, the RC car channel dedicated to RC car racing. And today we are taking a delve into the world of the LD3, and it's time to get building. So I put out on the channel in the previous video whether you wanted me to do a quick blast through or a slightly more detailed video when it came to build, and it seems that you guys would like a little bit more of an in-depth build. If we start on page 1 of the manual, we are basically looking at building the shocks for these cars. Now, in order to build your shocks properly, there are some tools that you will need, and if you're a regular to the channel, you will know that Mark has those tools, but he doesn't like to share. So I'm going to skip that step for now, and I will build the shocks at a later date, which moves on to page 4 of the manual, which is building the diff. Now, the LD3M and the LD3S both have a geared diff. So first things first, what we need to do is get all the parts that we need for this, and that is going to be bag A. So in bag part A, you have got, let me just open this up, you've got all your shocks, but we're going to come on to that in a later video, and hopefully we have got our diffs in here. So let's have a quick look. Shock, there we go. So these are the same size, except this one is a thicker one, so that is a 0.5 mil, whereas these two up here are 0.1. You get 3 of the A's, 2 of the B's, and 1 of the D's. So we can use the shims just to sort of tighten it all up accordingly. But I'm going to start, as it says, starting with 1 of each first of all. So let's get going. So it's worth noting, on here it says step 8, bag A, and again on the bags, step 8. So really easy to make sure you've got all of the right parts. Again, I'm just going to position these where they need to be. So again, we've got 3 of those, 2 of the thinner ones, 1 of those. There's the pin, the O-ring, our gear, and that is the final part. So let's get these built up. So again, take a little bit of grease and pop it on the parts that need grease. So a little bit on there. So the next part now is building up these gears, filling it up with oil and screwing the top on. So again, step 9, and all the parts should be in the bag. Okay, so what we need to do for this one is we need to take these 2 gears and they pop on the end there. There's 1. So we've got the 2 gears. I say if you wanted to put 4 gears in, you'd run the other one across across that way, but just the 2 gears for today. Then we're looking at the 12,000 CT. Oh, that's funny. It's got CST there and CTS there. The CST. Right, let's pop that in there. It's quite a big order, this. Okay, so we'll push that down. We've got a little bit of oil coming out the holes here, and now it's about making up the camber links. It says that these are scale drawings, so I am going to go off of the scale drawings for this next bit. So things to note are the shape of the turnbuckles. It's also, nice little tip up here actually, if you add grease to the end of the turnbuckles, it makes it easier to sort of adjust them once built. So look out for that. So next step, it is step 10A, and we're after bag B. So let's see what we've got in here. So it might be worth noting at this point on step 10C that the dirt setup has longer turnbuckles, but obviously I am building the M, so therefore I will need the shorter setup. So when I said earlier about knowing what shape these end bits are, you can just about make it out. There's a slight lip just on that side, which means that'll go that way round. So I'm going to get all of these laid out with the lip on the right side. So another thing worth noting, when you get to the turnbuckles, there are 3 pairs of turnbuckles, all different lengths. We've got the different size turnbuckles there, and we've just got to get the different ends to put on each one, and we're good to go. So I am going to set these up according to the scale drawing in the picture. So they're done to scale. So they're all twisted up. Moving on to the next step. Okay, moving on, and we're going to start on the steering set now. Need to get the thread lock out to lock tight those ones in. There's a few little bits of Loctite on this one. Put in our bearings. So on to step 12. Again, we've got all the parts laid out, and now we just need to follow the instructions, making sure you put them in the right order, but it's pretty straightforward stuff. So it's worth noting at this point that you can start doing setup. So if you've got a setup sheet to go by, you can start changing the Ackermans by adding or removing the shims, as you can see here. So it's suggesting in the manual that you put a 2mm shim in there, which is exactly what I'm going to do. That is the black one. So yeah, if you're going to be following someone else's setup, then this is the point at which you will make the changes. As you can see, there is the 2mm shim that goes on there. So when that attaches, it's set up as it is in the book. So I've put the bearings in the bottom, put the little shims in next, followed by another bearing in each, and then so there it is, fully made up. However, I don't want to run this. I'm going to run the upgraded version, which would be this one here, which has a little bit of weight in it. So, as if by magic, I will put that on there. Alright, so what we've got here is attaching these two parts together. Now, the piece in the middle, you will find that, I believe, in this bag here, which is S2 parts bag, and that is there. Okay, so next page, we are now on to step 14, and it's about getting the servo in and set up. Now, unfortunately, I have not yet got the servo or any of the electrics, in fact, for this car. So I will be getting in touch with Rochester RC, and hopefully we'll be getting the electrics and bits and bobs very soon. So this step I am going to skip for now and move on to the next part. Okay, so step 15, we need to find this part here. Now, that is not in the step 15 bag. So what you need to do is have a little look in this bag here, which is the S2 parts bag, and you will find one of these. So what you need to do is put these little brass tabs in, which are in there. However, at this point, I am going to move over to the alley front link and put this upgraded part in. So obviously the upgraded part isn't in the manual, but just looking at the part, it's got a few little bits on the bottom there. I'm guessing this is the top. So I'm gonna set it up and screw it in that way round. So again, at this point as well, it is worth noting that here, you can put multiple shims in. So if you are going off of a setup sheet, you need to double check how many shims you need in there to get that set up. I'm just going to go with the kit setup as it says in the manual. So I'll be putting in the same number of shims as stated here. But when you start tweaking the car to get better handling, it might be that you add and remove shims from here. So as we move on to step 16, we have got two shock tower mounts. This one here is the front one. You can see in the image these have got cutouts in, but the ones that came in the kit don't have cutouts, so slightly different design since the drawings were done, but we will get that added in next. So again, at this stage, need to just be mindful you've got 4 short screws, 2 long ones, so the 2 longer ones go in the front here, and the 4 shorter ones attach the shock tower to the front of the plastic. So let's get that done now. So moving on, we are on to bag B, step 17. And now we're starting to work on the suspension arms. So let's get cracking. So the easiest way to work out which side is which is, as you can see in this drawing here, you've got the 2 holes that you want to look out for, whereas on the opposite side, there are no 2 holes. So therefore, that one is there, and that one goes with that drawing. So, and this one matches this drawing down here. So this is left hand and this one is the right hand. So we have got another area where we need to make some changes. So if we're going for the box stock setup, we are looking for A, and we want the A to be in this position here. So if we have a look on these, you can see, let's try and get the light on those. Just about make out the letters there. So you've got A, B and C. So I'm going to put the A spacer in, and I need to position it in such a way that it's like in the drawing. And place that in there. So it is a great way of adjusting the position for the turnbuckle. Okay, so if we have a quick look here, you can see you need a 1.5mm black spacer. Coming over here, it is not in bag B. That is because it is on this little sprue, which is over here. So therefore, save you a little bit of time hunting for those. You need to find them on here. Okay, so I've made these up, and now I need to attach them to the arms. However, I just wanted to bring your attention to these spacers again. We are going to use these spacers, and that is for setting the height. So I've got the spacers out that I need. Now, when you're setting up the car, depending on what hub height you want, obviously I'm going to go with the stock setup, so I'm going to run at 1mm. However, if you were to move the 1mm from the bottom and add it to the top, that will take this down to 0mm, because you'd have the 3mm above. Equally, if you take the 2 from the top and you put it down the bottom, then you're going to end up having 3 at the bottom, so therefore the hub height is going to be 3mm. Now, if we come over here, the reason I'm telling you this is because, as you can see, we have got 4 short screws and 2 longer ones, and it says here, replace a B with a C. So these small ones are the Bs. Replace it with a C if you are using a hub height of 3mm or 0mm. And the way you do that is you pass the longer one through the end that's got all the spacers. So keep an eye out for that when you're setting up the car. Okay, and that is the front arms done, which means that is bags A and bags B complete. If we turn over the page, we are onto bag C. So I am going to call that time on this video, and tune in for the next video where we will finish off the car with bags C, and then obviously we'll get onto the electrics. As I say, we'll be getting in touch with Rochester RC to sort out all the electrics for this car. Do remember, if you are are interested in any of the stuff that features on the channel, most of it is available at Rochester RC, and you can get a discount using discount code POPALONGRC. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and come back soon for the second half of this build.